Strap yourselves in and belt up tight. We're about to expose the monster motorists who lose their cool on Britain's roads.
Crashing caravans. Spinning cars. Monster drivers who speed in appalling conditions.
And the lengths they're prepared to go to stay ahead. On tonight's Police Camera Action.
Takes us 120 miles an hour. Yankee 6, keep coming, keep coming. 230 southbound.
Goliath is the ultimate monster truck. Ordinary cars just can't stand in its way. But on tonight's Police Camera Action, we're looking at the monster in us all, impatience, and the drivers who leave other cars wrecked in their Wow.
Monster drivers like the man in this black Mercedes crashing his way through the Los Angeles traffic. Police are in hot pursuit. But the fleeing driver hits not one, not two, but another 3 cars before stopping. Police on the M4 are suspicious of the caravan in front and decide to investigate. Amazingly, as they try and stop the caravan, the driver accelerates away and tries to outrun them. Checks reveal the caravan has been stolen earlier in the day. It's just one of the 1,000 caravans that are stolen in the UK every year. The monster driver at the wheel clearly has no regard for other road users. And even a second patrol car is unable to persuade him to halt. Desperate to get away, the thieves career across the road, risking everything in their bid to escape. Officers think they've succeeded in stopping the runaways, but this pursuit has more drama ahead as the caravan crashes back onto the road. Normal road regulations are ignored by the caravan criminals. Determined to put a stop to the pursuit, the police once again try to get ahead. But the reckless driver swerves dangerously into their path. And only the quick reflexes of the trained police driver prevent a disaster. As the thieves slow down, the police again think the pursuit is coming to a halt. But there's one more surprise in store. The thieves have actually managed to unhook the van on the move and sped away. One man was later arrested at a travellers' camp, sentenced to community service, and ordered to pay compensation to the caravan owner. Watch out for the light green car coming up on the right.
Oh, dear me.
Narrowly avoiding a collision, the driver then dives into the inside lane, undertakes, and speeds back across the carriageway. The police in Paddington have seen enough.
Can't understand doing it in front of us like that. Is it a job motor? It's a woman.
And stop the driver. Recently disqualified for drinking and driving, the woman was again found to be drunk, banned for 3 years, and sent to jail for 3 months. Also drunk was this 17-year-old driver in America. Handcuffed from behind, she's put in the patrol car, a procedure the officers have carried out many times before. But this time it's far from routine. And to their amazement, the drunken woman manages to slip her cuffs and escapes in the patrol car, sobbing hysterically. As the police video car records the incredible flight, extra officers are called in to block the woman's route. But it's going to take more than one car to stop her. Still upset, she continues her bid to outrun the officers. This time, reinforcements surround the car, and the 17-year-old is forced off the road. In a show of strength, the police think they have the tearaway surrounded. But the teenager somehow finds reverse gear and manages to force her way out of the roadblock, ramming cars as she goes. Nothing's going to stand in her way. Quickly on her tail, the officers again barge her into the crash barrier. The car spins out of control, and the teenager ends up facing her pursuers. This time, there's no escape, and the woman was charged with driving under the influence, theft, and failure to stop.
By now, pretty well everybody's heard of the speed camera, but not everybody will have heard of the extraordinary lengths some people go to try and evade them. We've equipped these two police vehicles with some examples of the kind of things people use to try and cheat the speed camera. First of all, there's this. It's a kind of diffuser that's stuck firmly against the number plate. Hopefully, the camera will not then be able to read the registration plate. Next, there's good old-fashioned cling film wrapped around the number plate here, tucked in quite neatly. That's supposed to have the same effect. Then there's this proprietary product that you can buy for about 40 quid. That's taped firmly across the number plate, lots of little white dots. That's planned to have the same effect as well. And finally, the one I think is the most extraordinary, people actually believe a good coating of hairspray will have just the same effect. This camera's been set up to go off when the police motorcycle and patrol car go through. So, what about the evidence? From the computer picture, it's perfectly clear. All three number plates on the patrol car can be read. So, what about the motorbike? If we go through to the next frame, it's not totally clear there. On the next one, it's better, but here's a word of warning. Even if it's a little bit like that, the police can always read it clearly from the negative. So the evidence is strong. Trying to cheat the camera doesn't work. But do remember why they're there in the first place. Here in Staffordshire, fatal and serious accidents at camera sites have been reduced by 49%. The speed cameras aren't there to catch you out. They're there to stop you speeding. A fact that the impatient driver in our next clip clearly didn't understand.
He's clocked at over 112 miles an hour. It's not a fixed camera, but a mobile video unit that catches him. The figure's recorded on the bottom right of the screen. Same spot a year later. This time a driver's caught at more than 119. 4 months on, same lay-by. This time a motorist driving at a monster 125 miles an hour. Another spot in the Highlands, another speeder caught on camera. This time it's the Rover, driving away from the camera up the hill in the rain. Using special marks on the road to check the motorist's speed, the traffic officer clocks the driver at more than 89 miles an hour and gives chase. Despite the atrocious weather conditions, the driver continues speeding, impatiently overtaking car after car. When visibility is down to only a few hundred meters, maneuvers like this are potentially deadly. The traffic officer is forced to follow, with his video camera recording the risks the speeding driver is prepared to take just to get ahead. Once the conditions are safe, the driver is pulled over, cautioned, and later received a 3-month ban and a £250 fine. In Staffordshire, police are in pursuit of a speeding motorist travelling at 120 miles an hour down the M6. His driving skills are not up to the task. Despite the horrific smash, the driver still tries to run. But he doesn't get very far. After diving over the central reservation, he's caught and arrested. Heavy security and a secret location protect the most effective weapon the police have for reducing crime. It's the PNC, the Police National Computer. First established in 1974 as a database of stolen vehicles, it now contains the details of 46 million cars. It also has the records of 6 million criminals, including their fingerprints, and information on 73,000 items of stolen property. This is the air-conditioned computer room. When the PNC was first established by the Home Office back in 1974, it actually filled 3 rooms of this size. But now, despite the 230,000 inquiries it deals with every day, it's actually the size of a filing cabinet. It's operated by the Police Information Technology Organisation these days, and it's still the PNC that provides that vital backup to the police when they're tracking down stolen vehicles. Chiltern Air Support Unit have been called to a car park near Oxford. An off-duty policeman thinks he may have spotted a stolen car used earlier in a burglary.
We've got a grey Metro at the moment leaving Pear Tree Park and Ride. I'm not quite sure if it is the same vehicle, but it's the only one at the moment that's left Park and Ride.
A check on the Police National Computer has revealed that the vehicle is indeed the stolen car the police have been looking for.
It's now into the bus lane, still southbound towards Summertown. It's stuck in traffic.
Realising that the police are on his tail, the fleeing criminal starts to take reckless risks in a desperate bid to outrun the helicopter.
So picking up speed again, it's down the centre of the road.
The chopper's crew are able to keep track of the Metro from the sky and guide in patrol cars on the ground.
One occupant, a light grey coloured Metro, just southbound towards St Giles.
It becomes clear the runaway is heading towards the city centre. Officers in the helicopter fear the driver may abandon the car in a bid to lose them.
Yeah, 97, my feelings are it's going to go for one of the multi-stories to decamp. In St Giles now, dog vehicle behind it.
A dog handler who hears the call for backup brings the pursuit to a dramatic end.
Oh, we've got a TA. Yeah, one person still in the vehicle. One person out of the vehicle. The TA is in the centre. We're going to need a supervisor for him.
The Metro driver is subdued and taken into custody. A PNC check on this motorbike has revealed that it's not been stolen. Yet the driver refuses to be stopped by Staffordshire officers and races away. Despite fleeing, the learner driver still remembers some rules of the road, helpfully indicating his intended escape route. But his inexperience shows as he overguns the engine and sparks start to fly from the worn-out tyres and the wheel rims. But it's not over yet as the monster motorbike rider takes to winding residential roads in a vain attempt to get away. As he slows for a corner, officers move in and the pursuit is robustly ended. Quickly arrested, the reason for the motorcyclist's madness is soon evident. In fact, he's drunk. The The man was banned for 3 years and put on probation for 2 years. Coming up in part 2, more monster motorists. Seconds away from disaster. And how not to hide from a police helicopter.
There's one with a white top.
Every day the Eye in the Sky flies over London and the home counties, broadcasting to an estimated audience of 28 million people just what's going on down there. And as usual, it's chaos.
Hi, this is Ian Gardner morning. Just been checking out the M25. Heavy traffic clockwise around junction 5, 10 to 13. Blackfriars Bridge, that's slow go northbound. The A4 looking busy from the Hogarth roundabout in through towards Earls Court. Now, if you...
And yet, despite that information and all of this technology, there are still people down there who would literally do anything just to get a little bit ahead.
Like this white van in Hampshire that speeds past the queue and through a red light. Or this Vauxhall in Staffordshire that forces oncoming traffic to the side of the road in a frightening bid to get to the front. The driver is caught, ordered to pay £110 and has his licence endorsed. Police spotted this impatient driver on the M25 and decide to follow him as he's in such a hurry.
I'll tell you what, I'll stay here and we'll watch it from here. Yeah.
Perhaps the driver's on his way to hospital.
I think he's in a rush.
They record him pushing his way through traffic and speeding too close to the cars in front. But then perhaps he's got a family crisis. Undertaking at speed a desperately dangerous move just to jump one car ahead. But then maybe he's late for an important interview. Then at the roundabout he dives into the inside lane, cutting up the car behind. Officers feel he must have a reason to drive so recklessly, but are staggered when he pulls into a car park and they discover he's late for shopping at Tesco's. This driver is warned for reckless behaviour. Sightseers often take the cable car to gain a vantage point at well-known beauty spots.
But it's not only tourists who get the advantage of the bird's eye view. Police have found that the vantage point of a helicopter is particularly valuable when they're searching for missing people or in pursuit of suspects, as in our next clip.
The Chiltern Air Support Unit are tracking a stolen car in Thame.
Straight on, towards the end of Roman Road.
receiving.
The chopper's crew are directing ground units to the area using their thermal image camera.
Thank you.
He's done the left, believe the Miller Road.
They're also equipped with a powerful night sun searchlight.
Yes, a decamp. If all units make to the base of the night sun.
As the 4 occupants of the car run from the scene, the helicopter follows their every move.
Road Weekly, that's the general direction they're heading in. They're now in the avenue. 3 offenders in the avenue.
That's all mobiles. We've got a decamp Miller Road. The offenders have now gone into the avenue.
And realising there's nowhere to hide, the gang split up.
Running in towards open fields. And towards a
Following standard procedure, the chopper crew stick with the driver.
The avenue, we've got 1 police unit, that's to your right.
It's 3:30 in the morning, and the car thieves dive in and out of people's gardens in their attempt to escape.
Progress, they're both exhausted.
But the thermal image camera, which shows up body heat as white light, is almost impossible to hide from and tracks their every move. Ground officers soon arrest one of the youths.
Yeah, the other one for the dog unit is behind the house in the night sun.
The driver carries on running, scaling walls and fences in his desperation.
Pulls up by the dog handler. He stops now. Behind the house where the night sun is the offender.
He can't escape from the helicopter, but foolishly runs back onto the road.
Go to where that Panda is. He's about to come out
The
onto an
offender
open
now,
road
for
again.
your
Wait, we're not
information, is
trying
in
to
that
talk to where he
Ambrose
is.
Rise for waking up Ambrose. Yeah,
Tired and exhausted, he eventually gives himself up.
Good night, son. Come towards the aircraft. Towards the aircraft. You're running away, over.
It's now down to the aircrew to find the two missing passengers, and they fly back to the spot where they were last seen.
Sorry, you can keep us static where you are, over.
Almost immediately, they pick up a suspicious heat source in a garden and call officers to check it out.
One of the offenders wearing a white tracksuit top is made off towards the plough.
9-7, we're doing that now.
Yeah, 90, you're in the right guy. It's that shed there.
But a quick search reveals it's nothing more than a dog kennel.
Oh, no.
So what?
Kennel.
Roger, well, that was where the person was last seen.
Police on the ground find another passenger who was heard forcing a door of a garden shed, and a fourth youth is arrested later.
We've got the driver in custody. He was a passenger in the vehicle. I've got the names and addresses of the others. Over.
Yeah, look at that. You see he comes right up to that. There was a red light, and there was lots of cross-traffic, and he just goes right through the middle of those two cars.
The Los Angeles police have 17 helicopters and 2 planes to help keep a lid on the city's crime.
Right here, oftentimes we see these things go to what they call a foot bail, but no, the car got out of the way that was in front of him, and he goes right through that intersection.
2 teenage girls in the white truck below are leading the police on a high-speed chase through Redondo Beach.
Is he up on the curb? Is he up on the curb? And we're coming back to Hawthorne Boulevard.
Monster driving like this has only one outcome.
Oh, look at that! Oh, no! Oh, no! An accident there. Did you see that? Oh. On the way down here, the way he was driving. Oh, look, and it might not end here.
It's often the innocent that suffer in accidents like this. The baby in the vehicle the truck hits is only saved by his car seat. The 15-year-old driver and her 14-year-old passenger were both arrested. But some children tempt fate by their own actions. The main road is no substitute for a football field.
Location?
And when the deadly game spills into the road, the Cleveland officer decides to act. Both boys were given a strong warning over their actions and told how to play safe. Whatever advice the police give, some people have no road sense. The middle of the road is no place to be if you're intent on staying alive.
If you missed it live earlier here on ITV4, there's the highlights of today's cycling in the Tour of Britain at 7 tonight. But next, comic book action as the Penguin tries to make more dirty cash in a double Batman next.